Hello, I'm Nicholas Myram.
And I'm Lance Cottrell, and this is the Oak Leaf Online.
You're watching the Oak Leaf Online, the student-produced media network of the Santa Rosa Junior College and the Media 19 class.
We start today's broadcast with the top news story. More than 1.2 million people were without power on Wednesday, October 9th, and were left without power for an uncertain amount of time until Pacific Gas and Electric turned the power back on late Friday afternoon.
PG&E issued a PSPS, or Public Safety Power Shutoff, early Wednesday morning to the entire North Bay due to fear of high winds and dry brush. This shutoff not only caused a massive amount of public panic, but it also cost millions of dollars to local businesses who were unable to open their doors to the public.
We go now to Sonoma, where a local business fought against the odds to stay open and help serve the public.
In Sonoma County, nearly 70,000 people are without power, leaving many to wonder where to go to still purchase batteries, generators, and supplies for the coming days ahead with no power. One store here in Sonoma is fighting against the odds to stay open. We go to Freedman, Sonoma.
Well, the first thing that we wanted to find out is how we get our registers up and working so that we can open the store and let our customers in. One of the issues that we had is the generator was working, but it wasn't powering the registers. So we had a mechanical company come out and fix that, and we got we had 3 of our registers up and running. As soon as those were up, then we opened the store to our customers. But we had to escort them one at a time to the product because, as you can tell, we don't have much light in the store. Probably had close to 400 to 500 customers today, looking from batteries mostly, flashlights, generators. We sold out of generators about 12 o'clock today. We still have flashlights and batteries left. You know, we're here for the community, and that's really what Freedman's is all about. We're local. We started in Sonoma quite a number of years ago, and we've been around for 70 years based on just being local and helping our community. So we're definitely going to be open. Granted, we're not going to be open our full amount of hours, only going to be open 8 to 5, but we will be here. As long as the power's out, we'll be open.
And we're back. Sure was nice of Freedman's to stay open for people in their time of need.
I agree. It's always nice to see people helping people in a time of crisis.
And now we'll move over to our nation's top story. Democrats are calling for an impeachment inquiry after President Donald Trump asked Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky to investigate his political rival Joe Biden and his son Hunter in a July 25th phone call.
And that's not all. It has come out that the president has allegedly asked Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison to help Attorney General William Barr discredit the Mueller report. President Trump has publicly asked Chinese President Xi Jinping to investigate the Bidens. However, as of this Tuesday, it's been reported that officials in China have rejected this request.
Let's break down the laws in which Democrats and lawmakers believe Trump is broken. The most obvious way in which Trump could have violated the law is by soliciting material campaign aid from foreign government, which violates the Federal Election Campaign Act of 1971.
The second law the president has allegedly broken is bribery by a foreign national.
In the phone call with the Ukraine president, President Trump allegedly asked Ukraine to investigate Joe and Hunter Biden in exchange for a package deal of military aid and anti-tank buster missiles.
He then asked Ukraine to investigate a company named CrowdStrike, and finally at Joe and Hunter Biden saying, quote, "If you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me."
Lawmakers and Democrats, led by Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, had this to say about the allegations.
Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. I'm directing our 6 committees to proceed with their investigations under that umbrella of impeachment inquiry. The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law.
And now we'll move on to local news here in the North Bay.
A few weeks ago, Sonoma County students have walked out of their classrooms and onto the streets to protest the denial of climate change.
Students and other protesters marched to the old courthouse square and voiced their frustration with the current administration's views on climate change. This protest was a part of a nationwide walkout.
Speaking of climate change, one of the many well-known ways to reduce man-made pollution is recycling. Here is the Oak Leaf Online J55 package with an inside report on the recycling program here at our very own Santa Rosa Junior College.
Tucked away beside the Lanivos parking lot is Sustainable SRJC, a recycling program run by Guy Tellerson.
The waste diversion technician position was brought forward by a sustainability committee who wanted to make sure that we're recycling everything that we can. So as part of my weekly routine, the student workers and I go to all the buildings and take out all the paper and cardboard from each of the departments, and then we empty all the recycling bins in the classrooms and in public areas, so we can get to the whole Santa Rosa campus.
Sustainable SRJC seeks to improve students' recycling habits through improved signage and demonstrations.
Recycling can be very confusing, even for us who work here.
Tellerson explained that over 50 billion coffee cups are thrown away each year in the United States. At SRJC alone, that number is nearly 7,000 cups each day.
Putting these things out in bulk, the feedback I'm getting is people are surprised how many end up in the waste stream because they don't see the waste that goes out of the school the way we do who work here in waste diversion. So, we use a cup along the course of our day, maybe a bottle, bag, goes in the garbage. Doesn't seem like a lot, but since we have nearly 20,000 people coming through, it adds up.
Tellerson patrols the SRJC campus in his F-150, sorting through trash cans, rescuing, recycling, and compost from the landfill.
The little things are the most important things because habits are things that are done daily or twice daily. The most common step that students and staff are taking is to stop using one-use water and hot beverage containers. So we have a campaign called Carry Your Cup, also known as Refills Not Landfills. So if people all have a refillable coffee cup that they take to refill, wash in the dishwasher at home, and a refillable water bottle, then that diverts thousands and thousands of pounds per person.
Tellerson seeks to inform SRJC students about what can and cannot be recycled. But above all, he believes in educating people about what they can do to reduce their waste in the first place.
And we're back, and now we'll move over to Hunter with the weather report.
Thank you, Nick. Looking at today's forecast, we see that the highs today have been around the mid to high 70s, and tonight the temperatures are going to fall deep into the 40s. Moving on to our 7-day forecast brought to you by Macy's, we see that the rest of the week is looking very similar with highs in the low 70s, and the nighttime temps coming up to the high 40s to low 50s. However, at the start of next week, we see a bump to the mid 80s, and hopefully that's just those 2 days. Otherwise, we could see an upward trend into the high 90s like a couple weeks ago. Thankfully, that's all the time we have for today, and back to Daniel for some sports.
Thanks very much, Hunter. To start off with, women's soccer at SRJC scored 1 against American River, who scored 2. Men's soccer at SRJC tied 0 with Folsom Lake. Later today, the women's soccer team will be facing Sierra. And with that, back to Lance and Nick.
Thanks, Daniel. That's going to be all the time we have for today. This has been the Oak Leaf News Online.
Thanks for watching. Good night and good luck.
This was the Oak Leaf Online, the student-produced media network of Santa Rosa Junior College and the Media 19 class.